Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, October 27th, 2025. Jim date for Tuesday, 28th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as setups, I get this ALM in here. It's getting a little deep in the pullback. Notice I did adjust the entry down on that. So one more day of weakness here. This one will likely come out. But let's give it more day and see what will happen. Let's keep the entry and everything else, of course, the same on NRGV for now. Mixed day throughout. Overall, slightly positive thanks to a couple of moves in here. You see a couple of raised stops. So go ahead and take a look at that. We'll take a look at the portfolio in just 1 second. As far as official setup, still like this NRGV. Also the ALM again. A little bit, getting a little bit on the deep side, but sometimes, especially with like an IPO, you can have a pretty serious deep retracement and they'll take off once again. So let's just keep that on the radar. If it takes out today's low, then we'll probably take it off of the screen. What's interesting is a lot of these golds, there's still a few that are setting up, but some of these golds are now at an inflection point. Like AEM, for instance, it's set up as a pullback. I know it's got the gap in it, but any additional weakness would be of concern in these golds. And if they just rally up a little bit, it could set up a plethora of first thrust type of setup. So keep an eye out for possible transitions in gold. Just kind of a heads up there. Nothing to get too excited about just yet, but let's just see how it all shakes out. ABCL kind of hanging in there. Hasn't done anything wrong, but hasn't done anything amazing lately, but just kind of consolidating by kind of a sideways to slightly lower consolidation, which is fine. ATAI, not a bad day there. Not too far from multi-year highs on that one, so that's looking pretty darn good. Hive, that was an opening gap reversal I warned you about. And I didn't realize it at the time. By the time the market opened everything, it had already reversed. And I did say that it'd be on Facebook if you needed help on that. But nobody contacted me. So hopefully you guys heeded my warning on that. When they gap open like this, when they come real close to trigger on the prior day, and then they gap open, just pay attention to see if they come right back in. Like I said, there's often follow through on a strong close. Like right here is a great example. You get a strong close, you get follow through. But that doesn't mean you're going to get follow through longer term. And that's some research going back to the Larry Connor's days. KGC off a bit. Out of your stop, just in case our stop just happens to be right below this low, which now makes a lot of sense as an inflection point. So these golds, again, they start taking out that pullback lows. It could not be a good, it would not be a good thing. KYTX closing at multi-year highs. Not going to argue with that. We're going to bump the stop a little bit. Also, that IPT was hit. In fact, we're going to bump it to break even because the IPT has now been officially hit. In general, though, don't split hairs. This one got really close on day one. Thank goodness it did follow through and hit it mechanically. NUAI, bam, not a bad day there. Closing at brand new highs. Not quite all-time highs, but hey, here's hoping, right? But looking pretty good longer term. I'd like to see this one keep on keeping on, obviously, so we can get that stop trailed a little higher on that one. TFPM, same sort of action with the golds. Additional weakness here would be of concern. Just honor your stop just in case. These golds might be a so long and thanks for all the fish, and that's fine. I took a few out of the Landry list today, and some of them were up 50% and as much as 100% or more. So it was a nice run. Maybe it's not over. Here comes that word, hope. Let's hope it's not, but be prepared for that. Just kind of a heads up. Let's take a look at the P's. Bam, look at that. Not going to argue with that. Up 1% and a quarter, accelerated to brand new highs. This is where the FOMO kicks in. Everybody and their brother thought the market was going to just top out, and they had plenty of time to get in, and then the market takes off without them. Nasdaq Composite, same sort of action happened there too. Look at that, up nearly 2% on a day. Very, very, very impressive day. And Rusty 2000, well, not quite as impressive. Higher on the day and just a smidge below brand new closing high. So I'm not going to argue with that, but I'd like to see it obviously follow through a little bit more. Metals and mining overall still look okay. Again, if we take out this low, then we'll have to reevaluate. This could actually retrace a little bit more deeply and still be okay, but we need to keep an eye on that situation. As I've been saying ad nauseum with gold, any additional weakness would be of concern. Gold stocks, you can see, selling off fairly hard, off their worst levels, but down fairly hard nonetheless. And again, if they take out this low, it could get fairly ugly soon. In fact, if it just kind of drifts higher, again, that would set up a first thrust type of setup. Biotech, bam, winning, closing at brand new highs. No big shocker there with the overall market at brand new highs. Brand new highs for defense. That's obviously a good thing. Software has been coming back as of late, not too far from brand new highs. You know me, I sure like to see it break out and not look back for a while. All in great in the world. Some areas like banks, specifically the regionals, and just banks in general, not looking so hot. Financials, as I've been saying quite a bit, have lost some steam. They are trying to claw their way back a little bit. They still have a ways to go. So far, looks like an inverted cup and handle type of situation. Semiconductors accelerated brand new high, so that's an awesome thing. Bonds in general, a little wide and loose, but looking pretty good with their uptrend remaining intact. And finally, utilities still looking pretty good. Longer term, still looking like momentum stocks, he tried to say. I think that's it for tonight. Everybody have a fantastic night. Any questions, you know the routine, davidlandry.com, or hit me up in Facebook Messenger. Again, everybody have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.